Namaste, welcome back to UD's quickest movie reviews. This is me, Udai. As always, we are back with some wonderful filmmakers and their works that we are going to review and rate in our show. Further any ado, I want you to hit the subscribe and the bell icon so that you can get all the updates as we do our shows. Now let's start today's episode. As this is our very first film after Indian Independence Day, let's start our show with a short film that is related to Indian patriotism. Our very first short film that we are going to review in UD's quickest movie reviews is Irfan. Irfan is an inspirational Hindi patriotic short film that is hosted on Short Films, a YouTube channel. The movie basically starts with this terrorist who is randomly asking names of these 5 people who are kidnapped. And the very first person says his name is something that is not Muslim. He kills this person by cutting his throat. The second person says his name is Irfan. Irfan is taken to the head of this terrorist group. It is there the leader of this group will explain Irfan about the greatness and the intentions of a Muslim warrior. Now Irfan is handed with a gun and is sent to prove his loyalty towards Muslim. He is told that if he kills these 2 celebrities, he will be a part of the great war jihad. Now, will Irfan take the offer? Will he kill the innocent people? Is it possible that Irfan can be an Indian and yet be a worthy Muslim? What happens next is a very interesting prospect that we can see in this movie. Coming to the technical part, written and directed by Mr. Bhushan Ben and Satish Rao, Irfan with a screen time of 11 minutes 29 seconds is a very lengthy visual when it comes to the screenplay. And must say, more than logical, it is emotionally made movie. The basic question like why would a terrorist group kidnap individuals from India just to kill them on the basis of their names or let them join jihad are very basic points which were really logicless. But then this movie was made to deliver a very clear message which was properly delivered by the end of the film. Cinematography by Mr. Sumit Vaishnav was really a great asset to the movie. The angles he chose and the tilt effects he has used are brilliant. It is because of the angles he used and the light that really enhanced the location or the set they have used to shoot. It really looked like a terrorist camp. And coming to the editing, Gajendra Kapoor, who is the editor of the film, really enhanced the look and feel of the film. However, I was a bit disappointed when it comes to transitions. They were not really that smooth. He could have used some other transitions or the effects to make it more impressive. However, the movie gives a great message. Appreciating the whole team here at UD's quickest movie reviews, we rate Irfan a 3-star in our show. All the best. The next short film in our show is Uddheshi. Uddheshi is a Telugu crime central short film that is hosted on Madhura Audio, a YouTube channel. The movie revolves around this genius police informer who calls himself an ethical spy. The movie becomes very interesting when this ethical spy is given a very serious and very major case which involves a lot of money. Pretty soon, the protagonist understands that this case is not as simple as it looks. He understands that this is a very complicated case, and when he comes to know who is behind it, he meets him. He comes to know a lot of things about the case, and in a way, he also understands that he himself is one of the reasons why this is happening. Who is this guy who's doing it? How is our protagonist a reason behind this huge crime? Will he ever stop this crime? If yes, how is he going to stop it? Will he be helpless and let this crime happen? How will this story end is the most interesting part of Uddheshi. Story by Mr. Suraj and Kushal. Screenplay dialogues direction by Mr. Suraj Kumar himself. And with the screen time of 25 minutes and 4 seconds, Uddheshi was supposed to be an intelligent screenplay. But I see, in order to make it look intelligent, the makers worked out too much that the story became predictable. There was no challenge for this intelligent guy. Everything was so clear. I mean, every second he looks at something, he understands that this is a trap, this is something else, this is something else, and case out. To make him super genius, you should also let him deal with a biggest challenge. You should have showed a little bit of struggle of this genius to crack open the case, which I think was missing. Cinematography by Mr. Rohit Cheruku had done a very decent job. I really loved the camera angles, the level of experimentation he did with drone, the level of captures he has given, the close-ups he has made were very good. Coming to the drone, I see wonderful frames in drone. I really appreciate that. But what I could not understand is point of creating a drone shot. Point of creating drone shot, that too when a chase sequence is happening, is not to show the beauty of the frame, isn't it? Because most of your drone shots, I was missing the elements or the subjects that you were focusing on. They were either very small in the frame or they were completely off. I mean, I could not make out where this particular bikes are, chasing each other. Though I must say, those were the most beautiful shots of the film. The water body, where you had a very long shot where you have water bodies and these bikes are going. If only you could have captured a bit more of your subject, that is, those bikes, it would be beautiful. Editing by Mr. Kushal and Rohit was really good. Except for few shots, I see the whole movie had a very rich color tone and proper cuts and transitions. When it comes to this conversation over phones, I had a problem. I had a problem because when you talk over phone, for example, object A is talking to object B and he says something like, let's meet somewhere. Object A is saying that let's meet somewhere. Object C is a third person who is listening to their conversation. Now, when I see this scene, I would edit, let's come and meet somewhere. And I'm going for intercut where my voice is not stopping anywhere. I show a reaction of this object C. When object B is talking, I immediately intercut to object B. Like for example, let's meet somewhere else, cut to B, object B. And as object A is talking, I would rather have a half cut of his and paste a reaction of this particular B or I'll take B, and in a background I will say object C is sitting, or maybe I'll have a focus shifted to that particular person. And when my cameraman fails to take object B and this person, I would always cut from object A and put a voiceover of his in prospect of object C. But in this case, they chose a different style altogether. Like object A says, let's come and meet, and then a reaction of object C is given. After the reaction, that is a 3-second reaction, you will go to object B, where B says, okay, let's meet. Which, if you understand, is actually delaying the process of reply. Or your audience miss the flow of this phone call. And that leads to audience, where audience feels like it is a delayed process that makes your film lagged. And coming to the diction of these actors, they were either trying to follow a false diction, or they were not so comfortable with these English dialogues which were given to them. Which again, it looks so awkward because they were not comfortable. Their face says, their expression says that they are not comfortable. They are trying to memorize that dialogue when they are delivering it. Which again was a spoiler for the film. It was not going with the film. I know you wanted to make it feel rich, but the same dialogues, if you would have given in their own language, or maybe Hindi, or maybe the language they are comfortable with, the movie's flow of the movie and the aesthetics of the movie would be very natural. When you do a movie like this, it should be very natural. The more natural it looks like, the more mileage your movie gets. Few misfires here and there is a common thing for any filmmaker. And when you watch this movie, you understand that this team has a great potential. Wishing them all the best here at UD's Quickest Movie Reviews. We rate Uddheshi a 3-star in our show. All the best. The next film on our list is NAZAARISH. NAZAREsh is an emotional drama that is hosted on Shara Films YouTube channel. The film is about this young boy who believes he deserves or he should have been in much better life than becoming a cab driver. He believes that because he is well educated and because of some situations around him or in his family, he had to end up being a cab driver. And as he is leading his life with this depression, one day he happens to pick this lady from a diagnostic center. And when he picks up this lady, it is understood that this lady is going through a very rough situation of her life. Now, what exactly is her problem? How will her problem teach a very important lesson to our protagonist? How will he regain his enthusiasm in life? It is a very emotional ending given to our film. Coming to the technical part, written and directed by Mr. Mayank Sharma, Nazaresh with the screen time of 18 minutes 23 seconds is a very nice thought. However, it looks really slow and lagging. And when we talk about cinematography, Mr. Atul Patel did a wonderful job. And when we talk about Atul's work in this movie, I must specifically say I really loved that dream sequence, the entire dream sequence, what he has shot. I never saw such great experimenting in short film category. It was really cool. But then, on second thought, we must also appreciate editor who has equal share in achieving such a great shot. Editing by Mayank Sharma himself, the film really looks cool. The color tones are really good. It gives us a very fresh and unbelievably intense look to the movie. The cuts were good, transactions were good. Finally, I must say that film is a nice attempt. Though I'm still sticking with that statement where I think film's story could be managed much better. Wishing them all the best here at UD's Quickest Movie Reviews. We rate Nazarish a 2.5 star in our show. All the best. The next movie that we are going to review is Caged. Caged is a psychological inspirational short film that is hosted on Dreamcatcher's Vision, a YouTube channel. The film basically revolves around this young single mother who is also an entrepreneur and seems like she is very efficient in managing her life. The film basically accelerates when this woman is asked a question by RJ in an interview, where the RJ asks her what is that one thing that she does for herself in her life, and the lady never comes up with an answer. And that is when the lady starts thinking and finds no answer in her life. Later that day, as she is speaking with her father, she comes to understand that her father's friend is suffering from depression. And his father, being a very cool and fun-loving guy, doesn't understand exactly what his friend is suffering from. Where our protagonist exactly understands what he is going through and what is that one thing as a friend her father should do. She insists her father to spend more time with his friend and try to get this person out of the depressed situation. By the end of the story, we see this very strong and bold looking lady realizing or maybe haunted by a question that is asked by this RJ. And she tries to think that is haunting her. What is that one thing that she is doing for herself? Will she ever get an answer for that? What will she do now? Is it depression? Is this most successful and strong lady somewhere depressed? If she is, how is she going to manage her depression? Will she ever come out of it? All these questions are answered in such a way that a very strong message is delivered to every single viewer who are watching this short film. Coming to the technical part, written and acted by Shalima Muthial, directed and edited by Mr. Himanshu, Caged is a very deep subjective, and there is only one character in the film, and that too is portrayed by the writer herself. She did optimum justice for the character she played. Unfortunately, I could not see the details of cinematographer anywhere, but if you are talking about this film, I think cinematography had played a major role in the film. However, I felt they should have taken more close-ups of this woman. And this is only one character, and that too she is going through a different modes of her life. I think more close-ups on her expressions should have enhanced the feel of the film. Editing was very decent. However, I felt that most of those dip to blacks did not work out well. They could have used some other transactions, and the length of the film could be, edited much crisp. Editing was really decent. However, coming to the transactions, I think dip to black was not a good idea. You could have used something else, and the film could have been much crispy, edited much sharper. With a screen time of 11 minutes 46 seconds, Cage is really a nice attempt, and the message of the film is really well delivered. Wishing the whole team a very good luck. Here at UD's Quickest Movie Reviews, we rate Caged a 3.5 star in our show. All the best. And that brings us to the end of the show, guys. Before we end our show, I would love to thank Mr. Venkatesh, who is a special reviewer of the day, who gives his valuable suggestions, who gives his views and ratings to all our films and make this show what it is. Guys, in last few days, a lot of people in messages, in Facebook, even a few of them, they called me and they suggested me to make more videos. They wanted it to be a weekly or maybe every 3-4 days. They want to see movies. And I tried to explain them. I think they understood. But then I really want to tell how this process works. So guys, I thought, let me tell you how this particular program functions. We constantly keep on lookout for all your short films that you post on Facebook or YouTube. We post our comments saying that we are so and so and we want to review your film. And we ask you to send us your links. Now, most of the people feel that offending that we ask them to send us the links. Yes, we ask you to send us the links just because it is our approval from you saying that it's okay to review my film. When you do that on Facebook comment section, we cannot take that as approval because we have to keep a track of which movie and what, if you have accepted for that particular movie, and there are a lot of other accounts that we have to take care of. So that is one reason we ask you to send us a link to our inbox or the email address given below. So once you give that link, we have to watch the complete movie. I myself and Mr. Venkatesh, who is sitting in Chennai, will watch every single movie that comes to us. We make a notes, we make a script out of it, then we are going to shoot that particular thing. And I'm sure you understand that we are trying to give a genuine feedback of every single film. So that is the process we go through to deliver an episode. I'm sure we will come up with much quicker episodes, but then we need some time. Hope you understood. Until we meet next time, I want you to hit that subscribe and bell icon to be in the loop. So chalo then, till we meet next time, this is Udai signing off. Namaste.